quickly begin because we've got a lot to cover. So I'm going to start off by moisturizing my face, and here I'm using Aqua water-based moisturizer from Nature's Republic, and by now you know it's my holy grail, all-time favorite moisturizer, and I'm just going to moisturize my face. Moving on to the primer, here I'm using Lakme Absolute's Blur Perfect Primer, and I'm going to take a generous amount of it and apply on my face. Basically, I'm not going to do the same thing that I do where I just focus on my problematic areas like pores, but I'm going to cover my face thoroughly. Moving on to the foundation, I will be using NYX's Cant Stop, Wont Stop foundation, and here I'm in the shade Golden Honey. And whoa, that's a lot, but don't worry, I know I'll be using it all up. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen my review video on this foundation, then I will have it linked somewhere below. Please go and check out my thoughts about it. And here I'm taking a damp beauty blender, and I will be applying it all on the face with pouncing motions, and that's how you blend it, right? Don't you? And by now you know that this is my favorite foundation, and you will get to see it in all my other future videos that I upload. Oh yeah, by the way, I was simultaneously watching this Jaclyn Hill's new video that just came up, and yeah, I know amongst all the problems that are going around her, I still like to watch videos. Now the concealer, here I'm using NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger, and I know it's a shade or two lighter than my skin tone, and I've mentioned it a couple of times that I'm not a fan of light shade concealers, but don't forget that we are doing a glam look over here, and which is why we need that brightness in these particular areas. So I'm just applying it on my chin, on the bridge of my nose, on my center of the forehead, under my eyes, and on my eyelids. And I'm going to blend it with the same damp beauty blender. That's what you do. A glam look calls for something extra, right? So now time to set this concealer, and here I'm using again NYX Stay Matte Not Flat Powder Foundation, and I'm going to use the sponge that comes with this compact, and basically I will just press the product in my skin and not blend it yet. Later on, oh my god, it just struck me, so many products from NYX, right? But no, this is not a one product tutorial, don't worry. So with the help of this pack fluffy round dome shaped brush, I'm just going to blend this all thing, mesh it all in a circular motion so that we get a very flawless and matte base for our makeup. Now time for the eyebrows. Here I'm using Benefit's Goof Proof Brow Pencil, and ta-da! Here I am. I just skipped all the process in between. You can watch it. I have a separate dedicated video for that. Now again with the same beauty blender, I'm using this Wet n Wild Contour Compact. It comes with the highlighting powder and the contouring powder. I'm just going to apply this to get get more brightness that I want, and basically I will be doing my eyeshadows just immediately after this, so this will help erase the fallout if any. For today's eye look, I will be taking Zoeva mini palette in Voyeger, which is all matte palette, and this is how it looks like. And we are going to grab the first shade from this palette with the help of Sigma E25 brush, not that shade, sorry, yeah, this one, which is Urban Culture. And then we're going to apply it in the crease and blend it using circular and windshield wiper motion. Basically you'll have to keep going back a couple of times because this shade is very light on my skin tone, and yeah, to give that impact you have to keep going back and forth to get the intensity. Then moving on to the next shade, which is Through the Window, which is beautiful orange, my personally favorite kind of a shade. And with the help of a packed brush, I'm going to apply it in the crease in the same circular windshield wiper motion, but this time around I'm going to apply it on the eyelid, which is below the crease line, and we are not going to go any further above the crease line. The third shade is again from this palette, and for this shade I'm going to take Vega flat shader brush, and the shade is Chat Latte at Night, which is nice brick brown reddish kind of a color, and I'm going to apply it all over the eyelid, like over here, because this is a smoky eye kind of a look, and which is why a flat shader brush will give more color payoff than any other brush. Now moving on to the next shade, which is Cheap Bar, which is a brown, earthy brown kind of shade, and with the back brush, with the same brush that I used earlier, I'm going to basically now blend this Chat Latte at Night shade to the crease shades that we applied, so that it is smooth and seamless and it has blended beautifully. And moving on to the last shade, which is Lonely City, and I think by now I've practically used all the shades from this palette except the middle one over here, the sixth one. And I'm going to apply it only to the outer 1/3 and blend it in the crease, because this is a smoky eye and a cat eye look paired in one. Now we have to intensify this look, and for that I'll be using the shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. This is the shade Rowdy, and man, you are just about to witness what pigmentation means. And for this I'm using the same brush from PAC. Whoa, that's intense, and that is what you call intense pigmentation. So we have to go a little at a time and blend it properly before you proceed further. Apply it only to the outer 1/3 and blend it into the crease. Avoid the lid. Next, for contouring and bronzing, I will be using this match stick from Fenty Beauty, and here I am in the shade Cocoa. I will be applying it on the edge of my forehead and bring this in close to the cheekbone, just near the cheekbone, because that is where I will be getting bronzed, or I will have my contours, if I were slim ever. And I'm going to apply it on the bridge of my nose, because I want to make my nose look slim and nice, because it's not, it looks like an elephant has stepped on my face. For blending this, I'll be using my all-time favorite e.l.f. brush, stippling brush, and trust me, I've never cheated on any other brush other than this. This is just superb. It does so well that I never felt the need even to think of replacing this brush. In a circular motion, see to it that you're blending the edges into your hairline primarily, because you don't want a different separate line to look prominent, You want it all blend as if you've naturally bronzed and you're naturally contouring. Now, since this is a cream contour that we did, now I'm going to set this with Wet n Wild bronzer compact over here, and I'm going to take this shade with the help of this Morphe brush. I'm just going to set this cream contour with this powder. So just take a little at a time, you don't want to look blotchy, and blend it into the areas where you had applied the contour stick before. Blend it in a circular motion or any motion that makes it comfortable. Now with the help of this Damn Beauty blend, I'm going to just give a sharp cut for this contour, especially on the cheek, and I'm going to grab the light shade that's there in that contour highlight palette. That is how I'm exactly going to draw the sharp line. Next, I'll be using this MAC blush in the shade Gingerly. This is a lovely browny light nudie kind of a shade. I'm just in love with this, and with the help of a Real Techniques retractable blush brush, I'm going to apply it only on the side of the cheek. Nowadays I'm all into applying blushes on the side and not really going heavy-handed on the apple of the cheeks. Just something that I'm into these days. And in a circular motion I'm going to blend it. Now I'll be grabbing these two shades over here, which are Chat Latte at Night and Lonely City, and with this packed brush I will apply it to the lower lash line and blend it so that the whole eye look comes together. If you just skip the lower lash line, and which you can see clearly over here, it looks really different as against applying a shade over here. That whole looks really gets pulled off together beautifully. Now for the eyeliner, here I'm taking the Balm Cosmetics Schwiz eyeliner, and ta-da! There I am. Next we move on to the lipstick. Here I'm using a nude lip combo which is from NYX Cosmetics. Both the lip liner and the liquid lipstick are from the same brand. And here I'm using liquid lipstick in the shade London. I think this is from their liquid matte soft collection. Like always, I will have all the details mentioned in the description box below. Since I just forgot to apply highlighter before, I am doing it now. And for this I am using Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter in Umbrazy collection, and with the help of a Morphe 501 brush, I am just going to apply it on the side of the cheeks. As this is a daytime look, be careful of applying very light-handed because you really don't want to overwhelm people by a blinding highlighter. I will also apply it to the inner corners of the eyes so that the whole eye look gets uplifted. And this is the daytime glamorous smoky eye look, which will be changing it to a nighttime look by just changing a lip color. Ta-da! And this is a red lipstick from PAC Cosmetics and in the shade number 15. Because now we've changed this look to a nighttime look, I would want to increase the intensity of the highlighter, and for this I'm using Illamasqua's Pure Pigment Powder, and with the help of the same brush I'm going to apply it on the top of Umbrazy highlighter. And as you can see, this is a blinding highlighter perfectly suited for the evening time glamorous occasions. So with this, we come to the end of the tutorial of where I've shown daytime to nighttime look, and I hope you all liked it. Until the next video, bye bye.